Hi guys, this is James Flores with the product marketing team here at Okta. And in this tutorial, we're going to cover identity creation and conflict detection. What that means is we're taking users from an application and importing them into Okta. But before we create them, we're going to look at their email address, compare them to users who already exist in Okta, and if there's an email conflict, we'll resolve that and then continue the import. Before we get started, you're going to want to have a few things ready. One, you need an application that supports imports. In our example, we're going to use Active Directory, so you'll need Active Directory. Two, you'll need the integration configured for that application. So in our case, we have an Active Directory integration already configured in Okta. And third, you're going to need an authorized connection to Okta from within workflows. If you have all that ready to go, then let's get started. Let's get started here in Active Directory. Here I have an OU called Dreamers, and inside that OU I have 4 users. And the user we're going to be looking at here is Anakin Walkers. So if we take a look at their account, we can see that they have an email address of anakin.walkers@codaforest.com. Cool. Now we're back over here in Okta. So we're going to take a look at people, and you'll see that in my people list, I actually have this user already. But this user is not mastered by Active Directory, and it's not linked in any way. And we take a look at their profile, we'll see here that they have the same email, anakin.walkers@codaforest.com. Let's take a look at our integration. Under Directory and Directory Integrations, click on the Active Directory integration. And what I want to do is I'm going to do an import to pull those users from that OU and see if I can bring them into Okta. So I'll hit import and then full import. And we'll give it a second. All right, now if I take a look at the users here, I can see that Anakin Walkers is here, and the email address did come in, but that email address matches an existing user, and there we have a conflict. So let's go ahead and start the workflow to correct this. Let's go ahead and start this workflow. To kick it off, let's launch the workflow console. First off, click Workflow and then Workflow Console. From within the Workflow console, we're going to need to create a new flow. So on the top right, hit New Flow. Okay, so every flow has to start with an event. The event that's going to trigger this flow is going to be the result from an import inline hook that's going to be initiated in Okta. So in order to receive the information, what we need to do is we need to create an API endpoint. So if we hit Event, you'll see under the Okta apps, there's an API endpoint. So go ahead and click that. And that's really going to allow us to read that information that the import inline hook is sending us. From within that hook, what we need is the first name and last name key values of all the users that are coming in. And that data is actually stored in the data object, app user object, and then the profile. So let's go ahead and fill that information out. So we'll start out with the data. This is the data object. If I could type it right, data, and that's going to be an object. So from within there, there is the app user, which is also an object. And inside that object is the profile, which is an object. And within the profile is where you will actually find the first and last name. So we're going to type in first name and last name. This will allow us to extract out the key values for the first name and last name. And once we have those values, what we need to do is we need to formulate the prefix for our username. So in order to do that, we're going to add a function here. And that function is going to be a concatenate. So we'll search for concatenate and select concatenate. And what I'm going to do is I want to create a username that's first name dot last name. So we'll go ahead and build that out here. And we're going to drag the first name, put a dot for the middle, and then drag the last name. So this is going to build our prefix. And so let's name that prefix. Okay, so now we need to add on the domain. And I'm going to actually make that a separate card. You'll see later why. But let's go ahead and add another function, which is going to be a concatenate function as well. And in this function, we're going to take the prefix that we just created and tack on our domain, which is our suffix, codaforest.com. And this is going to be our email address. So now that we have the email address, what we need to do is we need to actually go to Okta and verify that that email doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a compose card here so that we can actually compose this call. If I can spell it right. And compose. And I actually have this data here. So let me save that. And so what this is going to do, it's going to actually reach out to Okta, search for the email address, and then return the results. And this is the static call. So in the quotes here is where I'm going to put the email address. I'm just going to drag this value here. And we need a quote there. And delete the second quote. Okay. And so that's just the call that we're going to make. In order to actually execute that call, we need to add an app action. And that app action is going to be an Okta app action, which is actually going to execute this custom API call. So we'll go to Okta, and we'll hit custom API action. And the HTTP verb we're going to do is we're going to do a get, because we want to get this information out of there. So hit done. I'm going to uncheck these because I don't need these. Hit done. So now I'll take the output of this, which is actually our email search query. So I'll just rename that so it's easier. And we'll drag that to the relative URL. So this card here will actually connect to Okta, execute this search query, and give us some results. Based on the results, we're either going to get a user profile responded, or we're going to get nothing in the body. So that's where we need to add in some decision logic, and we'll do that next. Now that we have the search all built, we need to decide what we're going to do based on those results, because either we're going to get nothing in the body, or we're going to get a user in the body. So in order to do that, we need to add an if-else function. So let's go ahead and hit function, and we'll select if-else. And since this is going to be driven off the contents of the body, we'll go ahead and drag the body into the value field here. And if the body is empty, that's going to drive the logic. So we'll hit done. So if the body is empty, that means no user exists. So we can go ahead and create the user. But what we need to do is we need to actually respond back to the import hook. So in order to do that, we're going to compose the response. So here we'll go add function, hit compose. And I actually have this response written up here. So let me go ahead and copy that. We'll paste that in there. So this is really going to be the response that needs to go back to the import inline hook. And if you need to read up on all the information or all the appropriate responses and actions that you can do with an import inline hook, you can jump over to developer.okta.com for that information. So the value we need in this response is going to be the email address. So let's go ahead and drop that in here. And it looks like I missed the quote again, so I'll just tack it on there. Take off that extra one. And this is going to be our import inline hook response. And in order to send that, we're just going to do a raw response here. So we'll add function, and we're going to go to flow control, and we're going to look for raw response, raw return. There it is, return raw. So we're going to send back a 200, and we're going to send back this message or this content in the body of that response. So we'll go ahead and drag that there. So that handles the logic if no user is returned. If there is a user returned, then that means we need to create a unique email address. So let's go ahead and build in that logic. So we'll start off with a continue if function, because that's going to force our flow to continue. So we'll go continue if. Select that. And again, that's going to be driven off of the body. If the body is not empty, then we're going to continue this flow. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually create a new username. So let's go ahead and hit function, and we're going to do a concatenate. Actually, what we're going to do here is we're going to use the current date and time in a Unix format and tack that onto the prefix of the email. And that'll give us a truly unique email address just for this tutorial. So let's start out by adding a date function. Let me go down here to date. And I'm going to choose the now function because it's going to take the current time. And once that's added, we'll go ahead and add another date function, which is going to convert that date into a Unix format. So scroll down here and you see this Unix option here. And that field is going to be driven off of the actual date. And that's going to be our unique ID. So we'll name that unique ID. Okay, now that we have the unique ID, we need to actually tack it onto the prefix. So we'll do that with the concatenate function. So let me go here to functions. We're going to do concatenate again. And this is going to take the prefix from earlier. Remember, we left it by itself for this particular reason. So we'll go ahead and bring this over here. Drop that in there. And we're going to add in our unique ID. And then we'll drop in our static domain. And this output is going to be our unique email address. That'll be our unique email. And we'll save that. And now that we have a unique email address, we just simply do the same thing we did up here where we compose and send back the raw response. So we'll go ahead and add another compose here. And it's actually going to be the same data, except it's not going to use the email address, it's going to use our unique email address. So I'll go ahead and paste that in. And right between these quotes, we'll drag in our unique email address. And we're going to send this raw response back to the import inline hook. So we'll go here. And we'll look for a raw return. We're going to send back a 200, and in the body we're going to send this. And that's our flow. So let's go ahead and save that. We're going to name that, let's see, ID creation and conflict. And I'm going to save all data just so I keep it all in the flow. Save that, and that's our flow. So now all we need to do is go ahead and configure that in Okta, and we'll do that next. Now that we have the flow all complete, it's time to register the hook. So to do this, we're going to go to the endpoint settings here of our API endpoint, and we're going to expose it as a webhook and copy the invoke URL. Go ahead and hit close there. Now jump over to Okta, and under workflow inline hooks, we're going to register this inline hook. So click add inline hook and select import. From here, we're going to name this AD email conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. And we're going to paste in that invoke URL. And we'll go ahead and hit save. Now that that's saved, we're going to go to our directory integration settings for provisioning. So we'll click that. We'll select our Active Directory, and we'll go to provisioning. And the settings we're going to modify are the settings to Okta, so Active Directory to Okta. And here we'll scroll down to the inline hook section. We'll edit that, and we'll select the hook we just registered, and hit save. Now, back in workflows, we need to actually enable that flow because it's still off. So we'll go ahead and enable that. And once you enable it, it takes about 60 seconds to register. So we'll let it sit for about a minute, and then we'll come back and we'll try it out. Okay, so it's been about a minute, so let's give this a shot. Let's go over to Okta on our directory integration. So directory integrations, select our Active Directory, and we'll go to import. So when we started all this, we initially imported, and we can see these users have no email address, and this user has a conflicting email address with an existing Okta user. So let's go ahead and start the import, and we'll do a full import, and let's see how that changes. Okay, now we can see these users, they all have new email addresses, and they each have a unique ID. Note here, because all these users already exist in my Okta tenant. So let's take a look at the flow history and see what happened. So go here and click on flow history. And in flow history, we see all the successful actions. So if we click on the first one, we'll see here the username was created. It was sent over to Okta. The search returned a body, so then the flow kicked down here, generated the time, converted it to a Unix stamp, and sent that back to Okta for the import hook. Well, there you have it. Identity creation with conflict detection all built into one workflow. The next logical step would be to, one, either use the Active Directory configuration to create those users, or two, just send back the create action from the workflow itself. And that's the beauty of workflows, that you can do it however you want, whatever best suits your use case. For more videos like this, please visit learn.workflow.oktapreview.com.